It is time to choose what I'm reading in April. I have a couple of updates to the jar. If you have any suggestions for prompts, I feel like I don't have enough in here. I feel like I'm going to be picking the same ones month to month. So I would love recommendations for prompts to put in the jar. Thank you to everyone who has already recommended some. I have put them in the jar. The other update is not so fun, and that is that we've had to take something out of the jar because my cat is missing. And one of the prompts in here is that she's supposed to pick the book that I read. Ivy is missing. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to use this today. There's a vlog next week where you'll hear the whole story of what happened, but short version of the story is that I'm absolutely heartbroken and I really hope that she comes back and we can add this back into the jar, but it's not looking good. So I haven't been doing a lot of reading recently. I don't know how much is gonna get done this month depending on what happens with the Ivy situation. So I might be doing some rereading of things that feel comforting right now, or we might be reading for escapism. I'm not really sure what the vibes are gonna be, so let's just get into it. Okay, the first prompt is a second chance. This is perfect. I was really hoping to get this prompt specifically because I really want to read The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I asked you guys in a video that I did a couple of weeks ago to hype me up about this book if you really loved it, because I regretted purchasing it full price and I didn't love the first chapter and I really just needed some encouragement to get back into the story, and a bunch of you said that you really love this story. So I'm going to be reading this in April. I am very, very excited to pick it back up. I'm in the mood for romance, and there's also a dog in here and I have a big dog. I like reading about big dogs. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, good. We're off to a good start. This is exactly what I needed. Okay, book 2. We're gonna pick 10, by the way. Okay, this one came out. Let's read this one. Okay, the newest book on my TBR. Oh, I know what I bought. I know what the most recent book is that I bought. It was this. I bought this. If I put this on my TBR for April, that means I also have to finish reading this. Are we gonna finish this trilogy in April? Oh god. I'm like 100 pages from the end of this, and then we'd have to read all of this. I guess that's what the prompt is saying. This is the most recent book on my TBR. This is the most recent book that I bought. Okay, so we're adding 2 to the TBR with this prompt. Oh boy. I'm nervous. I'm worried. Okay, we need some short books, easy things. Okay, actually, this I pulled out, but this also fell out, so we're gonna do both of them. So the one that fell out is the oldest book on my TBR. Okay, so this one is gonna be tricky because I have no idea what the actual oldest book on my TBR is, so I'm just gonna pick something that's been on my TBR for a really long time. You know what I'm gonna pick up is Heartstopper, because I read the first book last year, went out and immediately bought the second one, and then never read it. If you follow the Books Unbound podcast, Ariel and Raylene have this thing they call a mashed potato book, where you're like saving it for the perfect time, but then you never read it, and by the time you get to it, the mashed potatoes are cold, and you wish you would have just read it when you bought it. That's definitely what this is. This will be perfect for this month. I need a little bit of happiness in my life. I'll reread the first one, and then we can read the second one as well. And then the other prompt that fell out, or that I picked up, was a book with a name in the title. Yeah, I really think that this is one of the only things I have on my TBR that has a name in it. Yeah, okay, this is gonna be it. I'm really excited. I have really been wanting to explore the sci-fi genre more, and I feel like this is just gonna be perfect for me because it's dark and it's funny. Let me read you the back because it's hilarious. The most fun you'll ever have with a skeleton. The Emperor needs necromancers. The 9th necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword, some dirty magazines, and no more time for undead nonsense. Sounds right up my alley to a T, so I'm really hopeful that this is gonna be my brand of sci-fi. Number 5. Excellent. I need a book that is under 200 pages. Perfect, because we've got some chunky things already. Okay, this is looking a little intimidating. Really feeling like it might be 84 Charing Cross Road. Oh no, you know what it's gonna be? You know what it's gonna be? I am finally going to reread A Psalm for the Wild-Built. I have been wanting to reread this ever since I read it in December. It's not been that long, but I read this technically in 2022 and I loved it so much, but I had already filmed my best books of the year for 2022 when I read this, and I really desperately wanted to put it on it, and so I want to reread it this year. so that I can still put it on my best books. I know I could without rereading it. I've also convinced my mother to read this duology, and she said she has some time in April to read it, and I'm really excited. This is like 150, if that, pages, so it's super, super short. The first time I read this, I read it on audio, and I've been wanting to read it physically so I can annotate and just like kind of sit with it a little bit more, because there are a lot of really poignant passages in it that I think I'm gonna prefer to read physically. I'm so excited about this. Oh, this is exactly what I needed this month. I feel better. I feel better about what's happening now. Okay. Okay, this one is just a little genre, speculative. Okay, so we could go horror, we could go fantasy, we could go sci-fi. You know what I've been wanting to read for a long time is The Empress of Salt and Fortune, and it's available on Scribd as an audiobook. And I seem to remember someone saying that the audiobooks were really good. Okay, that is what I'm going to choose, The Empress of Salt and Fortune. I'm really excited about that. It just became available on Scribd like this week, I think. I think we're following two women. One of them is Rabbit, and one of them, I don't know if it's Rabbit or the other one, who is like a cleric listening to stories of a deceased empress. I know very little, but I'm very excited to pick it up. Okay, what is this one? Ah, a book with an animal companion. If you didn't see my video from last week, it was a 5-star audit, and this is one of the categories that I said I typically give 5 stars to. So that's very exciting. Maybe we'll be doing a 5-star predictions vlog in April, because seeing a lot of parallels to that video. Maybe we'll do our part 2 in April. You know, I bet A House with Good Bones has an animal companion. T. Kingfisher always has animal companions. Aha, there is an animal companion, and it is a vulture. Very excited about that. So A House with Good Bones is written by my favorite author, T. Kingfisher. It comes out on Tuesday, which is the day before you're seeing this video, so it's already out. Very exciting. As soon as it comes out, I will be snatching it up and escaping my life to live in its pages for a while. As far as I know, this is a gothic horror tale. We have a woman who is going, I think it's her and her brother, who are going back to their mom, who's moved into their grandmother's house. I think their grandmother has just died, and they're all sort of trying to clean out the house. Some spooky stuff is going down, and there's a vulture animal companion, so I'm very excited about that. I can't wait for new T. Kingfisher. I'm so freaking excited. This has been going really well. I'm very happy with this list, besides accidentally having to read 2 books for that prompt. Okay, an award winner. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky and do this. I'm not gonna read one without reading the other one. I feel like this is one reading experience. These bad boys won the Hugo Award, so we can read them for this prompt. I may also be reading A Closed and Common Orbit, which is also by Becky Chambers, which is also a Hugo Award winner. I'm reading a lot of award winners, actually, because the Broken Earth trilogy, the Obelisk Gate, and Stone Sky, that series won the Hugo Award as well. And I think the latest book in Gideon the Ninth was just nominated for the Nebula Award. I'm not sure if any of the books have won it though. So we will be reading award winners, but I am choosing the second half of this duology for this prompt. I think we have 2 more to do, maybe? Yes, 2 more. This is book 9, which is a book with cozy vibes. Well, that is exactly what I need this month, for sure. Ooh, I know what I'm picking. I am choosing the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I have this from the library. It's due to come in like 2 weeks, so that should be perfect. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. This is one of my most anticipated cozy fantasy reads. I have just heard nothing but good things about it. It sounds right up my alley. This is the synopsis. A prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. I said I was in the mood for romance. I need some comfort in my life. I think that's perfect. Last one. I don't think there's anything that I need to fit in this month else, so interesting. We have a retelling. Is this the month that I finally read the Song of Achilles? I think this is the month that I finally read the Song of Achilles. Trista, if you're watching, this is for you. I've got it on Scribd. This is like the retelling that everyone talks about. It's by Madeline Miller. It is a retelling of Achilles' story. It's a romance, it's queer, it's apparently gonna make me sob. I think that's probably the perfect thing to cap off this stack of books. That's it, that's my April TBR. So, to recap, in April, I will be reading at least 2 Becky Chambers with a option to add a third. Some dark sci-fi necromancy, an adorable graphic novel or two. We are finally gonna finish the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I'm really excited about this. There's a lot of other books by N.K. Jemisin that I really want to pick up. I think she's gonna be a new favorite author of mine, but I need to finish this series first. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, some cozy fantasy. We also have the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, which is also cozy fantasy, also romance. We have lots of romance on here. We've got The Song of Achilles and A House with Good Bones, which is the one thing that I wanted to make sure that ended up on this TBR because I'm definitely reading that as soon as I can get my grubby little paws on it. I am very happy with the way that this TBR turned out. Whenever anything bad in my life happens, I want to go to books for comfort and to process and to feel the emotions that I want to feel, to escape from reality for a while. I use books to do all of those different things, all of those different little coping mechanisms, and I think we've built a really solid TBR for a month of comfort. I would love to hear what your reading plans are for April, and if you've read any of the things that I'm going to be reading in April, I would love to chat about them with you in the comments as well. I appreciate all of you so much, and even when life is not very fun, I feel like I have this lovely little community of friends all around the world, and that makes my heart so happy. This is a bonus video. I will see you on Sunday for our regularly scheduled content, which will be our March wrap-up. So you'll get to see if I read everything on my March TBR. Spoiler alert, I have DNF'd one thing because of content warnings, so I will give you all the information about that on Sunday. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.